my sharing of this is going to be my own experience, and this might relate
Yeah.
differently to other people, and you might have different patterns that show up in your own process. You might find, okay, I need to draw things back a bit here, or I could potentially give more. A really interesting thing that's been happening to me of late, and I would say maybe the last kind of 18 months, I find sometimes if I share too much, then I get headaches.
Interesting.
And so, kind of learning a lot more about my own emotional, somatic feelings that come up in my body, it's becoming more aware of my kind of nervous system regulation. So, I find that
Hmm.
these headaches, I would say, that I'm recognizing are also linked to my overwhelm, anxiety, apprehension. And
Hmm.
I'm finding that if I find that right balance, so again, it's like checking in with what can I manage? And if I am in these states of overwhelm where I'm experiencing these headaches, then I have to be very present with myself and ask myself the honest question, how am I?
Yeah.
And I'll
Right.
often do this and draw my awareness inwards. And so I'll be honest with how I'm feeling. And then the second question that I ask is, what do I need? And I respond to those two questions. And I pretty much, as soon as I can, at least try to action and be kind of honorable to my own requests there for myself. And so that might require, in order for me to find that kind of harmonization with my nervous system there, is sometimes just to spend time by myself. So if I've been, let's say, if I've been over giving, then it's important for me, in order for me to kind of respect my own kind of self-care, then is to take those necessary actions in order to
Hmm.
find that regulation again. And that's been a practice and a continuous kind of action of refining. I
Yeah.
typically don't, like years ago, I used to teach maybe in excess sometimes of 4 to 5 classes per day, but it was continuously in service, so that was quite a lot of
Right.
teaching. And it was almost like I wasn't typically, you could kind of say I was always thinking of where I'm going next or where was my next class.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
like, I'm continuously living perpetually in the future.
Totally.
And yeah, I had my
Yeah.
sequences and I was present when I was teaching, but at the same time, it was quite a go, go, go pattern that I was recognizing. And that was a phase that I had to go through and experience in order to get where I am today. But essentially speaking, now it's more so of a space of like really how and which can I show up in the best possible way if I am going to choose to be in this practice of service. And it's really
Hmm.
vitally important in order for me to find that sense of kind of harmony in my nervous system. Because I find that if I'm overwhelmed, I'm anxious or apprehensive, then these other frustrations come up. Then I do start to
Yeah.
experience these emotions of anger, frustration, or confusion, or not knowing how, or not being able to make a decision in the moment, right? And then that can
Mm-hmm.
often relate to a lot of the psychologies that I kind of adopted in my conditioning and growing up, where I would be quite harsh on myself, so kind of critical belief systems that I had. So it's been quite an exploration in order to kind of like unravel this. What in order do I need to do to be able to show up in the best possible way if I am going to choose to be in
Yeah.
service? And that required me to kind of learn more about what I was feeling. I think definitely for the first 25 years of my life, at least, I was more of a thinker rather than a feeler,
Mm. Yeah.
you know?
I relate.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And the yoga practice certainly has enabled me to kind of drop more so into the feeling
Totally.
sense. The thinking mind certainly helps me in order to navigate, you could say,
Oh, it's both.